great fourth quarter, Avon, your Avon business. Quite sure that we are all looking forward to that, right? That's when we earn the most, we sell the most, the products are amazing. So I'm really looking forward to helping you get started on that. So my name is Sheila Day. I am a leadership development coach in the Southeast. On the call also that will be helping to present are Tammy Evans and Lane Lake, who are also leadership coaches in the Southeast. And did Kathy get back on here? Kathy will also be on with us.
Yes, so, I am here. My dog keeps barking, so I'm on mute for right now.
No worries. No worries. For some reason, it took your name away for a minute there, but I see you now. So, all right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started then. Welcome, everybody, to your fourth quarter closing the year strong webinar. Want to welcome everybody. I would love to hear from you. What are you most excited about for the fourth quarter with Avon? You can either speak, you can take yourself off mute and speak, or you can type in the chat box.
All the holidays coming out.
All the holiday products. Any particular products you're liking?
The snowman.
The snowman. You know, I had somebody who told me they took a picture of the snowman at Come Home for the Holidays and sold like 5 before they got home that day.
Probably why they ran out already.
Do what?
It must be why they ran out so fast.
Right. They were definitely a hot item. Let's see, Beverly says she's excited about the holiday books. Absolutely. So how many of you in the room are already President's Club and above? You're already selling at least 10,000 in a year. So Jennifer,
Yay.
Anyone else already President's Club?
I am Denise Ring.
Denise, hey Denise, I was just about to say it looks like we've had a couple of extras join us. I see Tanya on the line, and I just heard Denise. So looks like we have several new jumping in. Oh my goodness, I guess I forgot to close my Facebook. We're getting all kinds of notifications. Isn't that wonderful? Actually, if you'll give me a minute, I'll take care of that for us so we don't have that the whole time. It doesn't even look like it's open. Why am I getting them? That's interesting, isn't it? I'm sure I don't have 2 things. I don't. All right, well, we'll go right back where we started. Awesome. So we do have a couple of President's Club members on the line. Well, if you're not President's Club already, it's not too late. There are people who make, and every year this happens, we have people who make President's Club that were nowhere close and made it in the fourth quarter with fundraisers and all of the different Avon parties and different things that we're going to be talking about today. So if you're not, with a little bit of strategic planning, hard work, and some tireless determination, you can do it. So remember, it's not over till it's over. We have 4 more campaigns. Everyone sitting here can be President's Club members if you have that desire to be. So I hope that you've come prepared today with an open mind and are ready to give and share some great ideas with your Avon family today. It's not just about us sitting here and presenting information, but we want to have some feedback from you and some talking and some sharing about all the great ideas that are working for you. Let's talk about, just for a moment, the many incredible benefits of becoming a President's Club member. For those that are not already President's Club members, as a President's Club member, you do receive 40% earnings on all of your regular Avon core products and 25% on the fixed earnings items. Then you also do have the opportunity to earn up to 50% commissions based on your sales. You can order up to 3 demos in your What's New brochure. You can preview private previews of the new products at RepFest. If you went to RepFest, you might have noticed that the President's Club representatives had their own viewing of the product expo at RepFest before the others were invited in to take part as well. You do have some invitation-only training sessions and invitation to the President's Recognition Program Tribute, which is our great luncheon that we have in various cities all over the country, usually in about April or May. It's a great opportunity. Special product bundles and additional discounts, exclusive PRP member-only incentives, and Pinnacle Award recognition. Just looking at that list, let's hear from a couple of you that are President's Club. What is your favorite part of being President's Club?
40%.
40%. Did Tanya say that? Absolutely. I mean, why not earn as much as you can? And even 50 when your sales are high enough, right, Tanya? Awesome. Exactly. Anybody else want to answer that? What their favorite part of? Well, I don't know about everyone, but I know the ladies in Nashville and Paducah, and I've been in Cookville's before. I'm trying to think of the different tribute locations. The tributes are amazing, and everyone has a great time at those. I know those are a big hit. Lots of good food, lots of recognition, and just a fun time of getting together and seeing each other year after year. So being a part of that group is just a really proud feeling, and we're proud of everyone that's a part of that, and we want everyone to know that you can be a part of that. So speaking of recognition, let's move to the next slide. Avon Pinnacle Awards. You may have noticed, if you are President's Club members, that there were some additional awards given out last year at that recognition tribute. There were a lot more statuettes and a lot more awards, a lot of people that you weren't used to seeing necessarily. It wasn't just the same people over and over being recognized. And one of the reasons for that is that we have the Avon Pinnacle Awards. And these awards are you do, you get awards. So as long as you meet the qualifications, you get the statuette. Easy peasy, it's just as easy as that. So when you look at the different Pinnacle Award categories, let's take, for instance, personal sales. If you're Honor Society or above, that's selling $1,000 a year at Honor Society, you're going to walk away with a Pinnacle Award statuette. If you have at least a $2,500 increase over last year and you're in President's Club, you're going to have a statuette. Same thing with recruiting. 5 to 9 qualified new recruits or more gets you a statuette. And you can see across the top the bronze, silver, and gold level. So even though I'm mentioning the minimum level, that's where it starts. That's where the bronze starts. And then you can see where you can achieve a silver and gold as well. Speaking of qualified new recruits, who can tell me what a qualified new recruit is?
Someone who places and pays for an order on time in their first or second campaigns of at least $150.
Woohoo! Go Jennifer. That's exactly it. So because if we don't know what it is, we can't count on achieving it. We've got to know what we're trying to go for. So it's those qualified new recruits. Then you look at personal leader development. 1 or 2 new Generation 1 leaders. So just 1 Generation 1 leader on your team will get you the bronze statuette. Team sales of over 100,000. team sales increase, this is your team, not just you, but a sales increase on your team of only $5,000 will get you a statuette. And team representative growth of at least 25 representatives on your team. So you can see there that there's a lot of opportunity for maybe some of those that have never been on that stage to walk across that stage in April or May and some of you may be very close, or any of you close to any of these awards right now that you know of. Maybe you know you have a personal increase over last year of more than 2,500, or you already know you have your qualified new recruits. Anybody yet for sure?
Pretty sure I'm hitting the sales increase.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. That's awesome.
And Tanya's being modest. She has one locked in for recruiting. So just to throw that in there.
She said to be quiet. Why would she want you to be quiet? You'd be shouting that from the rooftop, girl.
Absolutely. Those awards I heard last year were the star of the show. So keep going.
I think I'm getting sales increase too, because I'm only like 4,000 from Honor Society this year, and I barely made President's Club last year. So
then yes, you are. That's awesome.
Well, excuse us why Tanya's working on too.
Way to go, Tanya. So see, we have to be proud out loud, because one of the things about being proud out loud, it's not about necessarily bragging on yourself, but when you are confident and you are proud of what you're doing, others pick up on that, and others can learn from you, and in turn you will learn from them. So that's what this call is really about. The more you all talk, the more you share, the more people may, well, how did you get that? What did you do? You know, we begin to ask questions and share with each other. We all learn together. So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing, Tanya. And thanks for jumping in there, Elaine, giving her a little kudos. So the other thing with your President's Club, the other reward that you get is President's Club points. You'll see those listed on your invoices. They're all under rewards and recognition on youravon.com or the 2.0. And you get points when you reach a new sales level. You get points when you have a sales increase or an anniversary or a birthday. And you get 400 points when you make President's Club itself. So when you make President's Club and you get 400 points and you add up all the other points that you have, then you can go shopping in the little catalog. You see there next to it all the gift cards. There's gift cards, there's TVs, there's radios. The 400 points are given to you for making President's Club to get the Mrs. Albee that they used to award you. But the reason they give you the points is because it's your choice. Maybe you want the Mrs. Albee and see the value and the recognition of that, or you'd prefer to put your points towards something else. So Avon is giving you the choice of what you want to do with your points. All right, I'm going to turn it over to my friend Lane, and she's going to talk to you about tracking for this thing called President's Club.
Hey ladies, welcome. I'm so glad that each of you are on the call. Let's do my favorite part, which is diving into the numbers a little bit. We not only have top sellers on this call, but we also have got top leadership on this call too. We all have goals and dreams that we want to accomplish by the end of the year. The real ticket to us getting there, well, you getting there, is making sure you're leveraging that opportunity with President's Club. And all of you guys have seen this tracker that's on your screen before. It's something that has been around for many, many years with Avon. But you also got something new that if your representatives are on Avon 2.0, they have got one of those great tools. And they can play with those wheels to put themselves at Honor Society or Rose Circle. And it automatically breaks down for them what it is that they will have to do each campaign in order to get there. So making sure that everyone is tracking is super important, not only for yourself to get where you want to be for an Pinnacle Award, but just think what could happen with your team. So if you can answer yes to this question, then this opportunity that we're about to speak of is definitely something for you're going to want to promote. So could you use more unit sales on your team by the end of campaign 26, 2018? If you can say yes, then this is going to be a tool that you guys are going to want to use and also promote with your team, because the real key to getting your title to the next level or getting other representatives to the next level is making sure that we're promoting our President's Club program, because it really is the key to all of your success next year, because we know that President's Club members place orders 25 out of 26 campaigns throughout the year, and on average they stay with 8 or 5 years. So that's an amazing opportunity for you to have continued success throughout the year. Plus, if they're making more, they're going to be staying longer, and we love to keep our people happy and put money in their pockets. So let's break these numbers down just a little bit, because we all have great goals, but it's probably the most important part is to figure out, how do we get there? What are we going to need? What are we lacking? So that way our dream isn't actually just a dream. We're making that plausible. So also know that if we wait to do something, we won't ever do it, right? So can each of you, and you can make this rhetorical, can each of you put in your head and know what your order size needs to be each campaign through campaign 26 to hit the sales target that you are aiming for your next Avon year? And I'm hoping all of you said yes. But in case you haven't, we're going to walk you through something really quick, you to the next level. And even if you know where your target's at, how important would it be to actually help your people see where their targets are? So when you're looking through your downlines, how do you guys determine if someone is President's Club eligible or not? How do you determine if this is something they should be shooting for?
Their goal card.
Their goal card. And Tanya, what do you that goal card that makes you think that this is for them? They should be shooting for President's Club.
How much per campaign they need to hit, and what. Then you look at what their previous sales, their average sales are. So if it's
absolutely. So Tanya, not to put you on the spot, but I love to do that. You know that. If you are looking at a person in your downline, what would be the amount of award sales they would need to have right now for you to say, hey, I need to have a conversation with them about this?
Anybody that's over halfway, or at least halfway, because a fundraiser could easily, Double Dollars is over now, but so now maybe, I don't know, 7,000.
Okay. Does anybody want to challenge Tanya's thinking at all?
Double Dollars is not over.
Oh, Jennifer's challenging you. Yeah, Double Dollars is through campaign 26. They get to pick their highest campaign.
Oh, what was I thinking?
Girl, we never know.
Yeah, so you guys is halfway then.
Okay, so anyone that's halfway there, does anybody else have a different timeline or threshold that they look at besides 5,000? Is it a different number?
I just look at anybody who looks like they're consistently placing orders and trying to grow, not necessarily that their sales are up there yet, but just that they look like they're intentional and not just personal shopping.
I love that, Jennifer, because guess what? If they're placing orders, why can't they play, right?
Yeah.
So, it's a great opportunity because anybody can do anything in a short amount of time if the reward is great enough. So looking at that, shouldn't everybody be given this opportunity, and shouldn't it be up to them to see what they see themselves doing and if they should try this or not? So as a leader, wouldn't it be really pretty important if we help them break down these numbers just a little bit, right? Because just think of what it could do to your unit sales by the end of the year if you had 4 more people, 10 more people working towards a President's Club goal. that very easily could make up many, many thousands of dollars. So just think about that. If you have 5 people that are working to President's Club and maybe they are only halfway there, that's an extra $25,000 in unit sales. Wow. What if you had 10 people working? So here's how we break this down just a little bit. So if you want to get a piece of paper out, I encourage you to do this now because we know people don't do things afterwards the moment it has happened. So I encourage you to get this out right now and just jot it down on a piece of paper. We don't have to do anything fancy here. Put down what it is your sales goal is, where you would like to end in campaign 26. Our example on the screen is $10,000. Your next one, put a little minus side, put your current award sales. And if you've already turned in your double dollar campaign, then make sure you have that included. And then do the math and find out what is left that you are needing in order to achieve your sales threshold. So obviously you can see on the screen that Miss Betty Booball has got $5,750 to go. We're then going to take that $5,750, divide the remaining 4 campaigns, and she has a total of $1,437 that she's going to need each campaign in order to hit that President's Club cycle. So if we were looking at this for a representative, the opportunity would be huge because she also can choose her double dollar campaign. With online fundraising being launched coming at the end of this month, it's happening very soon. What would it look like if she gave her business card with a special link added to each person and say, hey, tell me about an organization that you would like to give back to this holiday season? And what if she did that to 10 people? Just think of the fundraisers she could have going, because Betty Boobah could give 20% of whoever orders online through that link to whatever organization would be important to that customer. So through online fundraising is a great way for them to do it, and it doesn't have to be so formal. It could be a bunch of fundraisers put together that your customers want to give back to make a $5,000 fundraiser. So everything is possible this holiday. So getting her to the next level, we probably need to break down that $1,400 order just a little bit more. Thank you, Sheila. I about forgot about this slide. So let's break it down, and maybe she doesn't want to do a fundraiser, but maybe she just wants to find more customers, okay? So let's find out what she would need to do that. Currently, Betty Boobah is serving 14 customers, and once she has taken in her total award sales minus out any of her supplies, demos, sales tools, she found out that her total size is $490, which is an average of a $35 order. So knowing that her average order size that her customers place, she can then figure out what she needs to do with her additional sales by taking the $1,437 minusing the extra $490 that she's needing, or I'm sorry, the $490 that she has. So she needs to find an extra $947 in award sales. So where is she going to do that? Well, she wants to do it with her customers. So $947 divided by her average order size of $35, she is going to need an additional 27 customers to do that. So I wonder how Betty Boobah sees herself doing that. Wouldn't that be interesting to find out, right? So making sure that we are able to show them what it is that they could achieve, and then letting them figure out how it is they see themselves doing it. And just imagine what that could do to your unit sales by the end of 2018.
Absolutely, Lane. And then when you take it back to where you were going on that previous slide, if she didn't want to have to come up with 27 new customers, then there's the fundraising, then there's the parties, there's all the other different options and ways. So it really is personalized to how they want to get at that number.
Absolutely. And I just heard a top seller and leadership representative tell me about that fundraising idea that she had. She goes, I don't need to find someone to do a fundraiser. She's like, I'm just going to find out where my customers want me to donate and let them find the customers and the fundraiser for me. And I was like, that is like the best idea I think I've ever heard with this because that's how easy our online fundraising is going to be.
And speaking of strategies, we're going to go there next and talk about all the different ways that we can make this happen. So Kathy, or is that Tammy? I believe that's you.
Yes, it is me. Hello, everyone. I'm Tammy Evans, Leadership Development Coach in the West Virginia area. And I'm so excited that you all have taken your time to get on this call. It means so much that you think that much of your business. And we know that you all on here are successful because you do take time out of your day to do some training. So we're going to talk about the Holiday Success Plan and which strategies will you use to get to the next level. So before we get started, I would like for you all to share, either come off mute or share in the chat box, what are some strategies that you're using right now to get to President's Club or above to the next level?
I just got on, Tammy.
Hey, Alice. So what are some strategies? We've been talking a lot about that. What are some strategies you're doing right now to increase your sales?
Well, I just got a place I can set up a fundraiser, which I'm going to have November the 3rd at Kroger's.
Awesome. So Kroger's is letting you do a fundraiser there.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Didn't even exchange words with me. Just pulled the calendar out and asked me what date I wanted.
That's wonderful. So all it takes is to ask, right? So
right.
Lane says she needs more. What are you going to do as a fundraiser at Kroger's? What kind of fundraiser?
I am doing Herbie. Did you find out about him for me?
So we're on a call with other coaches. So do you all know when the Herbie the Hedgehog ends? Is it campaign 1 or 26? Does anybody know?
It's on the flyer, and I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, I thought it was campaign 8, but don't quote me.
Okay, I looked on the flyer and I couldn't find it.
Okay, what I'm going to do at Kroger's and Walmart is I'm setting up with Herbie. I bought one, and I've got some flyers that I can show people, and I'll have something there, you know, for them to register for. But I'm doing Herbie, and I'm giving those to the Sheriff's Department for children that has been taken from their home, or kids when they're found even the fire department, at a fire when they go to a home and there's children involved, or also if there's a wreck and there's children involved, so they'll have something to give to them.
Absolutely. That's awesome. So you're giving the Herbies to the kids, and the money you're giving to?
A cancer victim.
A cancer victim. That's awesome, Alice. So what is your goal of how many Herbies you would like to sell?
I would like to sell at least 200.
Awesome. Okay, so we talked about this on our group collaboration call last night. So you know that 250 Herbies will get you $5,000 in award sales. And if you double that in a campaign, there you go. That's already President's Club, right? And Alice,
well, I'm in President's Club.
And you could get to the next level. You could get to honor study. Yeah. So Alice, yes. Real quick, tell us also about, you were talking last night, one of your ladies got really close last year, like maybe $6,200 to President's Club. And this year, she's a little further ahead of where she was. So what advice did you give her to strategize on how to get to President's Club? Because she doesn't have a car. So what did you tell her last night about how to increase her sales?
I told her what I was doing with Herbie, and for her to try to do that if she could, and give the money to anything that she loved. Like I gave it one year to Family Refuge Center. I've given it to different, things around our area. And I also told her to ask a couple girls that wants to make a little bit of money if they will take them out and try to sell 13 or 15 of them. And then she would give them $100 if they'd sold 13 or 15, so whatever she chose. And then I also told her about the double dollars, you know, that it would be doubled, and she could make it very easy like that.
So that's great, Alice, that you gave your downline a strategy of how to get to President's Club, because that's going to increase your team sales, which you are actually trying to get to bronze leader, right? Right now.
Right.
Well, thank
Yes.
you, Alice. I appreciate your help. Anyone
Hey,
else?
Alice, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Because I know
Okay.
someone listening to the replay will ask this. How did you get an opportunity with Walmart and Kroger's? What did you do?
I called Walmart and just said, I didn't go in person. I just called. And I said, could I speak with someone that is able to tell me if I can set up a table in front of Walmart for this reason? And then I told them what I was doing. And they got the fella on the phone, and he said, sure. We're full up in November and December. I mean, we're full up in this month. How about next month? Well, no, they're full up until January. So I'm not actually going to have it until January the 5th.
So
Okay. And then
all you
for
had to do was ask.
For Kroger's, I just walked in and I talked to the manager. He was at the customer service desk. And I said, I'd love to set up a table in front of your store to sell a stuffed animal named Herbie, who is a hedgehog, to help with the children in the area and things like that. Would that be something you could let me do? And he just got his calendar and said, what date do you want?
All you had to do is ask.
Right.
Imagine how that works. That is awesome, Alice. I'm excited for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I am too.
I can't wait to see the picture you're going to post on Facebook when 250 Herbies arrive at your doorstep, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I wonder what that will look like.
I think Lane also just saying she's given the funding to a cancer patient that needs money for medical bills. I think that helps too. So if someone wants to ask Kroger's or Walmart and talk about that, you know, that's what she's doing with it. Plus her local police and fire station, how can they say no, right? So that's great. And
Right.
I see that Kim Lowther said that if you go onto youravon.com on the homepage under fundraising info and flyers, that the Herbie will be until campaign 1. So actually it's only until right before Christmas. It's not
So
in.
I may not be able to do Herbie at that time in January, but I will definitely use that table for something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A different fundraiser maybe. Okay. Anyone else have any strategies to getting to the next level or getting team sales to get to the next level, even for title advancement?
What?
No? Okay, if you can change screens there, Miss Sheila, or if you have something else, Sheila, I don't have the notes.
Tammy, I'm driving, so I'm going to go off, but I'll listen.
Okay, sweetie. All right.
I think you pretty much covered it. It also talked about, and we talked about it earlier, holiday parties and that kind of thing. So just, you know, thinking about and asking for those ideas. Don't be ashamed to go on the Southeast Region Facebook page and either share your ideas because it worked for you, or ask people for ideas, because people are oftentimes willing to share, and we don't know what we don't know. So just like Lane said earlier, when she wanted to know how Alice got this fundraiser, it was just by asking. So if we ask what people are doing, we might find out what the successful people out there are doing and become the successful person ourselves. So yeah, go ahead, Tammy, with these key product launches.
I want to say one more thing that you mentioned, open houses. I love those of you that know Princess and Lee Gadd in the Kentucky area. They actually buy the demos and set them up all over their house, and then put on their brochures, labels on their brochures saying, this is when our open house is, you're invited. Of course, they have snacks and everything, but they set their whole house up, trees and everything, Christmas trees and everything, and let people come in for a big open house. So, you know, you can do an open house that way, or you can do an open house as small as going into a McDonald's in the back room and just having a few products. So, you know, speaking of key product launches, I'm so excited next to talk about the Aspira Kids Vitamins. and all of our new products that are out for this Christmas. So we want to know, I know my favorite product is our new products, our skincare. Like, I can't get enough of those products. And I do use just about every one of those products that are in my product line. But I want to know, what is your favorite product, and how do you tell your customers and your team about your favorite product? Anybody have
Tammy, I'm on here, but my video's not showing up, my picture.
That's okay. So what's your favorite product, Miss Diane?
Well, I've been wearing Velvet, and I've been getting a lot of compliments about how well it smells, and they love the softness of it. I'm like you, I'll use the Anew also. I wear everything that Avon offers, I use all the Anew products, and
So tell me, Diane, I know you're out and about a lot. You're the one that I always talk about. Instead of 5x5, you do like 20x5. You get a lot of names and numbers each day. So when you go out, and I've seen you set up your products even in a McDonald's, how do you approach someone to talk to them about your favorite product, Velvet?
I usually have samples, and I will say, have you tried our new product lately? This is the new one out for whichever now would be Velvet. Have you tried this? It is fabulous. I've had a lot of compliments about it. And they said, well, I've seen it, but I haven't tried it yet. And so I give them the sample, and they just, most of them, I've only had, I think, 2 people out of all the people I've approached just fell in love with it. There was a couple that didn't like, the smell of it. But that's what I do. I always have samples with me. I have the product on. I wear it. Always wear it to share it. If you don't use it, how can you tell anybody about it?
Absolutely.
So that's what I do. I just am always using the product. Even if it don't set well on your skin, put it on your clothing. You don't have to have it right directly against your skin. If for some reason your chemistry don't react well with it, put it on your clothing.
So if anyone else, let's talk about this. So what about goals that you set? See, I know that, a lot of people say, okay, this is my favorite product. Velvet is what's on the front of the book. But does anyone on here ever set goals to say, okay, this hot product, this campaign, I'm going to sell this many?
I used to. I haven't been lately, but it does work to pick one product out of the brochure and do that.
I seen a girl on Facebook that actually sold 150 of the Velvet because she set that goal for herself, and she has helpers, and she had those helpers sell that, and she gave them incentives, and she sold 150 of the Velvet. So that's huge. So it just depends on maybe the words that you use, and it depends on how hard that you work at setting that goal and meeting that goal. So knowing that you've got a 2-week period, even working that backwards. Okay, if I want to sell 100, so I need to sell 10 a day. So how do you do that? So if I didn't sell 10 today, I need to sell, 20 tomorrow. So setting your goals, but also getting your family, your friends to help you do that. And you know what? That could turn into a team member. So I seen that Kim Lowther said, challenging them to set their goals and team goals. So, she said, I'm starting to pick a hot pick item and sharing with my team, and then challenging them to set their goals and team goals. That's awesome, Kim. So you said you started to do that. So has one campaign went by where that's worked? Have you done that yet? Kim Lowther, we can't hear you. Are you talking? I'm gonna unmute you. Okay, Kim, can you tell us how that's working?
She just typed in starting with campaign 23 and it's working.
Wonderful. Okay, Kim, so how do you follow up with your team when you've given them a challenge? Do they come out? Oh, you're at work, so you have to type in the chat.
Type it in the chat box, yeah.
Okay. Do they come out and tell you how many they've sold so far? Are you asking that question? What is the question you're asking your team to keep them accountable?
While we're waiting on her to respond, one of the things that I thought you said that was interesting about, and I'm sorry, it says Nola Hatcher, but I heard you call her by a different name.
Yes, it's Diane.
Diane. So one of the things that you said about Diane was that not only does she talk to 5 people a day, but she talks to 20 people a day. And I thought that was very noteworthy because, you know, when you're setting that goal, when you decide I'm going to sell this many, you know, the power's in the numbers. How many people are you talking to? How committed are you to seeing that goal to, you know, whatever your goal you set, whether it's to earn an incentive, whether it's to put more money in your pocket to make the next President's Club level, how many people are you actually talking to and committing to make that happen?
Absolutely.
It does say, she said, Kim said she hasn't had a chance to follow up yet.
Okay. All right. If we can move on to the next slide unless someone has something else to say. No? Okay.
There you go.
So here is the awesome thing. You heard Lane talking about double dollars and the Pinnacle Awards, and we've talked a lot about fundraising and, oh my gosh, the trip to Maui. You know, there's so many incentives and programs going on right now. So, and also your holiday wish list, you know, your shopping list. That's where you should start. You should start by getting that holiday wish list from your customers. This list actually has on it, you list your names and then you ask your customer, you know, tell me who you would like to shop for. Is it your mom, your dad? And then list those things that they love, like jewelry or lotions or house shoes or pajamas. And you know what? I could be your personal shopper. So this is a really great flyer to use. So all of these things are going to just tie together to help you to get to President's Club or the next level or even the next title.
And Tammy, I think the reason I love this slide so much is if you look at the top of this slide, it says programs. These are things that happen regularly with Avon. We always have fundraising. We have some double dollars sprinkled within each campaign year. We always have the recognition. We always have a trip. And there's always the holiday season. So these are things that you can start now planning for and learning from year after year how to build and how to, you know, strengthen and become even more powerful in each of these areas and how to better utilize them. And then you said something too, Tammy, about how they all tie together to help you reach your goals. So it could be that you're a fundraiser in your double dollar campaign that helps you get to the next President's Club level, that helps you get to the trip. So it does all tie in together, and I just love that.
And Sheila, you know, you reminded me of something. So, you know, when all these things tie together, so next year you're going to look back and you know, especially when you're doing your planning, you'll think, how did campaign 24 and 25, how did I do so well? I mean, my goodness, I increased my sales by this much. Well, that's when you start next year, you've got more experience, you're even better. So look back at those campaigns from the year before, if you've been here, and think, okay, I want to beat that campaign. So how did I do that? Now I need to strategize by planning my calendar and putting events and fundraisers in those campaigns to make that campaign bigger than last year's campaign. So what you said, Sheila, makes so much sense, is to build off of that. So speaking of build, we have these incentives called Build the Love, which I love the word love. And, you know, we had to share the love, now build the love. And Build the Love, if you remember, is where you can win the iPad. And then the Grand Fiesta. So in Mexico, so I'm sure everyone on this call has heard all about these things. So I don't want to have to tell you about each thing, but I want you all to tell me what you love about each of these incentives, and just kind of top line. Maybe you've done the calculator that Miss Lane Lake made up, and maybe you've got your goals. So just tell us something about one or both of these incentives that you love and what stands out to you and what you've learned from it.
I love that it's less points to get the trip this time.
Yay! Because Tanya, I love that you said that, because I've told my leaders, you know, it was like 9,000 points to get one to go to Bermuda and 11,000 points for two. Well, now it's just 7,000 points for you and someone else to go. So it is so achievable. I love that, Tanya. Yes. Who else? Tell me something that you love about these incentives. And do you have any questions? Nobody? Who's going to Mexico?
Me,
Who's me?
Diane, Nola, whoever I am.
Diane, Nola, what do you love about these incentives?
I really love it because it is less points and it's more doable.
You get a head start.
And you get a head start, Tanya? What campaigns are the head start, Tanya? Do you know?
23 through 1? Is it 23 through 1?
23 through
26. 26.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And Nola, you were talking about what you loved.
I heard Lane say she had a question.
I do have a question.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Tanya is excited about the extra head start so she can get a jump on this incentive. We have people excited about going on this incentive, but has anyone mapped out the road of what it's going to take for them to actually get there and what they see themselves doing?
Yes, we have, on the Pots of Gold team, we have mapped out what we got to do and what we got to earn and how we're going to go about to win it. Got it all figured out, and it's really working. Got everybody motivated and really excited about it.
That is amazing. So the question that I also have for you as well, how many of your top selling representatives that place a $500 order or more consistently are also mapping out their road to get there?
I believe I've got 4 so far.
I'm mapping out mine, Nola.
Yeah, I know you're one of my 4. You're one of my 4 there.
That is amazing. And the tip that, you know, so many people have been saying is it is very plausible to get there, whether you are a new representative, whether you haven't even joined Avon yet, or maybe you are just a top selling representative, or maybe you're a representative that places an order of $200 every campaign. No one should be excluded from this, because you can either get a trip or you could get $1,000 or $500 in cash. So there's a little something there for everyone. So when you're having those conversations, include everybody in this, because what would it look like if, you know, you had conversations with people that weren't even in our leadership program yet and saw the massive amounts of money and excitement that went along with this and wanted a piece of the action. So just keep that in mind too. You have some conversations, just like President's Club. Don't exclude anybody from this. Anybody can go.
Well, and was it you, Lane, that told us from last year's numbers? I'll let you tell it because I could see the light bulb just went off.
And this isn't just last year. So I've had that tracker for 3 years, and there was the cruise, Jamaica, and Mexico was the 3 incentives that I've been using that tracker on. Well, excuse me, my leaders that have been using that tracker on, and leaders have had more success in this area because they didn't exclude anyone. Anybody that was new coming to the team, they were seeing the excitement and they wanted a piece of the action too, or they joined and started drinking our Kool-Aid because they wanted a trip as well. And the cool part is all 3 of those past incentives, half of the representatives that went were not with Avon when the incentive launched. And to give you an example, the number of representatives or leaders that went on the cruise for the area that I had at the time was 16. So do the math. Half wasn't even with Avon when it started. So just to kind of get you guys excited. And the cool part is your next top person, the next person that's going to go with you and sit next to you on the plane may not even be on your team yet.
That's awesome. And Lane, something else before we change slides here is Tanya was talking about campaign 23 through 26, the Head Start. So we've talked about as coaches, and I'm sure you all have as PC and leaders, front load this incentive. And I know, Sheila, you've talked about that a lot on our calls because, you know, what I've been just preaching and really coaching is 23 through 26 is the hot campaigns. Those are the campaigns that people are wanting to join your team. They're wanting to, to have a discount on their own product. So think about that. Think about this, really getting as many people on board as you can through these campaigns. And then campaign 1 through campaign 8, that is just the icing on the cake. Just like Lane said, no one waits, and we don't leave anybody behind. So don't wait to the last minute. So anybody else have any questions or anything on these incentives that you just have been dying to ask a question or no? See, they're all good. They're all just masters at it already. So that's awesome. So let's go ahead and move on.
It is awesome. I'll make one more comment as I move the slides for us to bring Kathy in on this next one. But when you do front load the incentive like you were talking about, and what that means is using that early period, that 23 through 26, to really build your team, build your sales. That's where our biggest sales are. That's our biggest team building. You're also utilizing the 2 incentives together. So you have the iPad incentive. So you have the people trying to earn the iPad, which is causing them to also earn points in the trip incentive. So when you map the 2 together, it's amazing. You can have people earning in the Kickstart program with $1,000 in 90 days, earning the iPad, and earning a trip. So like Lane said, it's the new people coming on now that have the prime spot. So certainly don't exclude anybody, and everything and everyone that you add to your team and excite and inspire about these incentives is going to lead to bigger success and an easier track for you to reach there. Speaking of tracking, take it away, Miss Kathy.
Awesome. And after hearing Tammy talk about all these great incentives that we've got going on, how exciting is this time with Avon right now? Not only do we have holiday with some fabulous products, but we've got some great incentives along the way too. So after looking at all of these incentives and trying to figure out where you want to be by the end of the year, you need to set some goals, okay? So we talked about that earlier. Thank you, Lane, for doing that. So why would you want or need to track your progress on those particular goals that you've set for yourself? Why is it important? Let's see. I haven't heard from anybody yet.
Let me check the chat box for us. I had it closed for a moment there.
Because it's very important. So why would you track your progress? Why would you need to track your progress?
It's NOLA, so that you can keep up with what you've got and what you need to make your progress, and track your numbers to, whatever incentive you're doing to earn. Because if you're not tracking, you have no idea what you got yet to get. That's why I instill that in my leaders, to always keep track of your sales. If you're going to move title or any of that stuff, you got to always keep on track of everything.
Nola, that was perfect. Yes. So how are you going to know if you're achieving your goals or you're on track to achieving your goals if you don't track your progress and see where you are at? Because Nola, let's say, for instance, you were tracking to maybe not achieve the goal by the end of the year that you were thinking about achieving. What would you want to do?
See what I got to do to be able to have it by the first of the year or something. That's just like I had it in. My mind was set that I was going to move to bronze leader by campaign 13, and I worked my team till I did move to bronze leader, and I've been there ever since.
And she did. Yay! Get on it. So exciting.
And I'm working on my Amy to move to bronze leader within the next couple campaigns also.
Awesome. So you tweaked what you were doing. Maybe you tried something different. Maybe you did more of what was working.
Yes.
Spending more time on your business. Because if you're trying to achieve your goal, you're going to want to revisit that too, because you want to challenge yourself to go bigger, challenge yourself to achieve even more. So yeah, tracking your progress to see if you need to make any adjustments. That's exactly right. So thank you so much for, yes.
You're welcome.
Also, what she's done, she's the one I was just telling you, that's when she started stepping up her contacts. So instead of 5 by 5, Diane does 10 and 20 by 5. So she, every day she gets out and she gets that contact information, and she follows up with those people. So I really believe, I've known Diane for quite some time. I think where she stepped up is where she's seen that she wasn't tracking for where she wanted to be. And she was in that position where you call stagnant. I can't move. Well, what could we do? So she strategized and she stepped up those numbers like you're talking about. And that's why she got to where she wanted to be. So that's awesome. And I just have to give her kudos.
What a great example. Yes. Thank you, Nola, for doing that. And thank you, Tammy, for sharing that. Because if you can track your progress and you can make some little tweaks along the way if you need to, you can achieve the goals that you've set for yourself. Absolutely. Let's see. Who's got the slide? Sheila.
I do. I'm on it.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, so today is the day that you start your next level of awesome, and now is that moment. So start now. Don't wait. Now is your time to achieve the goals that you've set for yourself. We have 4 campaigns left until the end of the year. So what are the goals you want to achieve by that period of time? Be diligent in your determination to reach your goals by the end of the year. Go ahead, Miss Sheila.
I've got it. They're just a little delayed.
Oh, are they
as
delayed?
I'm changing that slide, who has a goal that they would, that they have set for the end of the year that they'd like to say, this is what I'd like to achieve by the end of the year, or this is the action I'm going to take as I leave this call today? An action step or a goal that you have set.
Well, I'm planning on having an open house the first weekend of November, and then also again the first weekend of December, to grow my business even more. and work with some of my leaders that are here and around my area to build their business
And
deeper and wider.
Awesome. And I know that you said you had a goal back in campaign 13 to make bronze leader, and campaign 13 came and you made bronze leader. How did you celebrate when you made bronze leader? Oops, yeah.
I was just really excited. I'm trying to think what I did do.
And the reason I ask is really because we want to remember that when we set a goal and we achieve that goal, we want to celebrate it. Just like we began this call talking with being proud out loud. We want to be proud out loud. We want to celebrate. We want to give ourselves some. I mean, obviously you worked hard. Like Tammy said, you went from making 5 contacts a day or less maybe to making 10 and 20 contacts a day because you wanted what you wanted. And then we need to remember to reward ourselves when we achieve what it is that we set forth in those goals. So I'm going to give it back to you, Kathy. I just had a question from those slides was all, and looks like Tammy may have something to say there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Diane, what was it that you got from your upline for making bronze leader?
A $100 gift card for Texas Roadhouse.
Nice.
And she also took you on a trip. Where'd you go with her?
To Disney.
Ooh.
So yes, she did celebrate.
Did celebrate.
I was celebrating.
How quickly we forget. Must mean it's time for another goal so we can have another celebration, right?
Yeah, I done set my goal to go to Maui and to go to Hawaii. I mean, to Mexico, all of them places. And to New Orleans next year for Rep Fest. So
Avon trips are absolutely the best, so that's awesome. So Kathy, I'll give it back to you so you can take us out on holiday parties and open houses.
Awesome. Well, Nola, thank you for sharing that you actually have one scheduled because this is the perfect time of year in order to help you reach your goals, that you can actually have holiday parties and open houses so that you can share everything that you're doing with your business as the opportunity or the products or the incentives with open houses and parties for neighbors and friends and customers, maybe coworkers. Nola, who do you invite to your parties?
most of the people in my church and in the community, there's no set ones. I just put out flyers that I'm having an open house or a holiday party with refreshments, and just more or less just whoever wants to join and come, and then have them fill out a survey, and if they want to join Avon or if they want just to receive brochures, whichever they want to do. So a lot of people that came last year, they loved the little gift sets I had made up with the hand lotion and lip balm and file and different things for last minute gift sets and different things. It just I don't really just invite people individually, it's the whole community.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Does anybody?
Kathy?
Yeah,
I saw in the chat box, I had put a question in the chat box that says, does anyone else do any open houses or parties? And Amy said she hasn't yet, which we know that Amy is on Nola's team. Amy hasn't yet, but she's planning on doing a pizza party soon. So, Amy, I don't know if you're in a place where you can talk, but what are you envisioning your pizza party looking like, or what kind of things are you planning for that?
I'm planning on doing just an eat and greet type thing and setting out the Avon products for Christmas. Also, little prizes and doing a raffle basket with Avon products. So that's about as far as I got with that so far.
Awesome. I know I have a couple of leaders who love to do parties, like that's their thing, and they do book parties, or that's what they call them, book parties. But when I actually talk to them about it, they meet in little places, maybe a back room of a restaurant, like someone suggested earlier. They have parties. They get out the books. They have a few products on hand. They'll have order forms where the people can sell, and then she also will present the opportunity to them as well. People, because when you see the feedback from people, oh, I love Avon, oh, I haven't seen Avon in a while, then it begins to open those doors up for the opportunity as well. So that's another possibility when it comes to parties is we don't, you'll hear the term out there, opportunity meeting. You don't necessarily need to call it an opportunity meeting, as Ursulette and many others can tell us, right, Tammy? But if you get it out there and you have fun, and I'm going to have a meet and eat party, and I'm, pizza place, or I'm going to have pizza and possibilities, or I'm going to have, whatever you want to call it. But when you add the element of fun along with presenting both Avon opportunities, the opportunity to buy great products at great prices and the opportunity to earn money and trips and all these incentives we have going on, especially in fourth quarter, it makes for a great time for the people that you invite to these parties. So that's great, Amy. I'm glad to hear. Please let us know how that goes. We'd all love to hear how your party goes.
Wonderful. And also, there is somebody that's in my territory that actually wants to have a Christmas party. And she's going to invite all of her downline plus her customers and other leaders she's inviting from the area and teams to join in. So that's something too, you can invite your customers, especially to like an appreciation Christmas party, to show them how much you appreciate their business for the year. So anybody else have any ideas?
That's a great idea.
A Facebook party, but I haven't done one of those. I'm not sure if anybody else has done one, but if anybody has information, I'd love to talk to them about it.
Has anybody else on here done a Facebook party? I've had leaders do Facebook parties in the past, but has anybody on this particular call done Facebook parties? I know that is something, Amy, that's coming soon. I think that was Amy. Is that you that said that about Facebook parties? Okay. I know that's something that's definitely coming back around soon. Again, when you have questions, when you're looking for information, looking for ideas, that's why we have the Southeast Facebook page. Are you on Facebook, Amy, where you can reach out to your peers? Awesome. Reach out. Obviously, you have your upline and you have your coach and you have a whole network of people in the Southeast region that are willing to help you. And there's some people doing them very successfully. So connect yourself with the people who are successful doing what you're wanting to do, and you will go far.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining this call. It was wonderful. I'm so excited to be able to be a part of this and share all this information with you. Hopefully you learned something from this call that you can take away with a smile on your face and implement after this. And we hope that you all have happy holidays and you reach your goals that you've set for yourself before the end of 26.